Well, a very good evening to you folks. Welcome to Sty Times. Hey, yep, another Sty Times. It's a Friday. Oh my gosh, it's a Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I tell you what, I'm retired. Nobody really sets my schedule. If I've got something I gotta do, it's because I chose I gotta do it. Otherwise, it don't matter what day of the week it is. However, with that, I've got to say, I still love Fridays. Fridays are great. Fridays are great. I see Justin Anderson out there in the chat. It is so good to see you, Justin. And there's Rain Dancer. Hey, sweetie. Always wonderful having you here. The yeah, this evening's topic. Life isn't fair. Oh, as if I'm telling you something new, right? The, yeah. Boy, don't we all know that, right? Hey, there's Peppers in Kentucky living. It is so good to see you. So good to see you. Life isn't fair. The Me Dibble says, what do you mean life isn't fair? It's fair. It just sucks. I'm sorry, folks. But when it comes to life isn't fair, it gets Sty laughing. When people tell me that just isn't fair, I start laughing. I'm sorry, I do. Guess what? Life isn't fair. There's Gemma's Journey Grace and Mr. Fulton. It's good to see y'all. The National, Mr. Fulton says it's National Chocolate Cake Day. Well, I'll tell you what. Everybody says the government should give us this and give us that and give us this and give us that. Well, the government should have a National Chocolate Cake Day. They should send us all chocolate cake. Then we'd all be singing, our government's great. It gives us chocolate cake. Somebody wouldn't get theirs. And guess what? Too bad. Life isn't fair. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But like I said, when it comes to people saying that just isn't fair, it gets old Sty laughing. I just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you really think life is fair? Life is not fair. It's not going to be fair to you. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Sometime, somewhere in your life, you're going to go, well, that ain't fair. That just ain't fair. I've probably said it a million times in my lifetime. Hey, there's Running Water. There's my boy. Yeah, just ask Running Water. He'll tell you life isn't fair. So what do we do about it? Life isn't fair. So what do we do about it? Well, we do our best. We do our best, no matter how unfair things seem to be. The Gemma's Journey Grace says life is what we make it. That's right. That's right. Life itself is unfair. So what do? We try to mold life to fit us. We want it to be as fair as we can possibly make it and get through life and enjoy life. And there's people out there that every single day they get up and they start their day off bad, and the whole damn day is bad because they've got it stuck in their mind. Life isn't fair. Somebody, something, something is going to make today Another unfair day. Well, don't let it. Don't let it bother you. Because guess what? Life isn't fair. We need to make it. We need to make our lives as fair as possible. We're not going to succeed all the time. I have been so disappointed so many times in my life with things that just weren't fair. That ain't fair. Oh, well. But I'm keeping an eye on it. That ain't happening again. Doggone it. Life isn't fair, but we're going to do our best to try to make it fair. Justin Anderson says, unfair day today. My lemonade froze solid. That's unfair. I can't drink that. I got to take it and I got to warm it up now just to thaw it out so I can drink it. That ain't fair. Everybody else's lemonade didn't freeze up, but mine did. That's not fair. Well, guess what? Welcome to life. Life isn't fair. It's not going to be. No, sir. Somebody all day, every day, we're flipping the coin, and sooner or later, we're going to get the unfair side of that coin. Something's going to happen that was unfair. The Running Water says fair, like a car in fair condition. Wrong kind of fair. Wrong kind of fair. That ain't fair. Anybody out there's ever bought a used car? Yes, somebody. Well, what kind of shape is that car in? And what do they say? Oh, it's in pretty fair shape. Well, life ain't fair, so you're telling me it's a pile of junk. I know you are. There's no such thing as fair shape. Because I know you're asking more than it's worth, and I'm going to pay you as much as I'm willing, even though it's probably more than it's worth, because there's no such thing as fair. Life isn't fair. So that car, you said it's in fair condition. I started driving down the road with the dang thing, got a flat tire 4 blocks from where I bought it from. Well, that ain't fair. So that means that car wasn't in fair condition. Me dibble. State fair? Hey, that's fair. But state fairs aren't fair either. They aren't. Just go down to Carnival Row and play some of the carny games. You'll find out in a hurry. State fair ain't so fair. Oh, no, no, no. No. But they don't have a choice. None of us have any choice. Sometimes we're unfair to others. I don't care what anybody says. Every one of us has had a selfish moment. Oh boy, look at there. Ma just put the plate of chicken on the table. See that great big old breast piece there? Biggest piece of chicken in the house. Boom! You got it first. Ha! I got it. It was selfish. And everybody at the table's going, Ma, he took the biggest piece of chicken. That ain't fair. And what does Sty do? He laughs and says, guess what? What's the title say? Life isn't fair. Ha, ha, ha. You got to be quicker than that. If you were quicker than that, you could have said, what's the matter, Sty? Doesn't it feel like life is fair? And I go, yeah, you're right. Life ain't fair. You got that big piece of chicken. Yeah. When I push it down the stairs, you're going to say life ain't fair either. Gemma says life is not fair when people tell me hurry up at the restaurant. You're right, Gemma. It's not fair. But they can't help themselves because life isn't fair. People are always stepping on everybody's toes all the time, and it's just not fair. It's not fair. So, like I said earlier, so we prepare ourselves for being treated unfairly because we know it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. They're going to treat me unfair. I say laugh at it because they're going to get theirs. Don't worry about it. They're going to get theirs. You know, that's a good old fashioned what goes around comes around. Life isn't fair, and it targets every single one of us. Life wants to be unfair to every one of us. The Gemma says, especially when I have trouble processing the menu. Ain't that a bummer, right? You're trying to absorb all that's on that menu. You're trying to, and for Gemma, she's autistic. For those that don't know, but for Gemma, there's an awful lot of stimulators in the menu. I don't have autism. I sit in a restaurant, I open a menu and I see all these pictures of food and different fonts and everything. And I'm trying to absorb all this information, trying to figure out what the hell I want to eat. And then somebody's trying to talk at you. Or the waitress is coming every 2 minutes. Are you ready to order yet? Are you ready to order yet? Come on, can't you be a little fair and give me some time? Just leave me be. I'll flag you over when I'm ready. Otherwise, leave me the hell alone. Life ain't fair. Go away. I'm sorry. How does an old curmudgeon and an old fart like me get through life and laugh at so much shit? It's because I look at it and I go, there ain't a damn thing we can do about it. No matter how fair you want it, it's not going to be. It is never going to be fair. Me Dibble says, but is it unfair if everyone is treated unfairly, or is it just normal? Well, I think that's a fair question. Hell if I know. If everybody's treated unfairly, well, that's pretty fair. I would say the fact that life isn't fair to everybody, we're all in the same boat. That's pretty fair. We're all equally treated unfairly. uh, Gemma says, yes. It's like, please stop. Just leave me be. Let me get through this and decide what I want to eat. Leave me be. You're being unfair. Go bother somebody else. Go be unfair to them, not me. Main dancer says, I like good service, but dislike overindulgent waitresses and waiters. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah. There's nothing more irritating than a waitress or waiter that won't let you enjoy your meal. I mean, they're there asking you crap constantly, you know, and you get your meal. You ever notice that? Oh, that's happened to me 1,000 times. You get your meal brought out to your table. You're looking at it. You're going, oh, that's cool. And you're getting it all ready to start digging in, right? You got to start digging in. You haven't even had the first frickin' bite. And here comes that damn waitress. And how's your food? Well, how the hell do I know? I haven't even had a chance to take a bite of it, and you're back here asking me how my food is. That's a little unfair asking me to judge your food before I got the stick in my mouth. Is there something wrong with it that you need to ask before I taste it? You're hoping I'll say, oh, it's wonderful. And then after you walk away, I take a bite and go, oh my God, it tastes terrible. Well, that's unfair. Isn't that life? Life isn't fair. I'm telling you. Jim is saying, But I understand they have a job to do, so I try to be quick. I know not everybody understands my situation. Well, yeah, you're being understood. See, now look at that. Look at that. How do you deal with life being unfair? Gemma tries to be fair to the waitress. I I understand. She doesn't understand. I understand that. So I'll do my best to be as quick as possible. I'll adjust and try to be as fair as I can to her. But she's being unfair to you. That's another thing I've noticed throughout life quite often. How do people react to unfairness? By trying to be overly fair back. You know, that, you know, the, that's like people that are frowning all the time. And you're just smiling and laughing, having, and they're going, "What the hell do you got to smile about?" I don't know. It's just because it's easy to do, and I'm going to do it. Yeah. Well, can't you see I'm pissed off at? Yeah, I can. Yeah, yeah. You know, kill them with a little bit of happiness and love, and then, oh yeah, yeah, it gets a pissed off person that more pissed off. I did, yeah. But that's the way it goes because life isn't fair. Hey, Plato Chuck said the house. Good to see you there, Chuck. Is it fair to say I expect to be treated unfairly? Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. I don't set expectations. I did a show once on expectations and how not to expect expectations. Don't set expectations. If you want to be disappointed, set an expectation. There you go. That's the quickest way to be disappointed. Set an expectation because it probably won't be met. The reason it won't be met is because life isn't fair. It's just the way it is. So if you expect to be treated unfairly and then they treat you fairly, you're like, whoa, win win. That's awesome. Man, it made me feel good. I didn't expect that. I never set an expectation. I didn't think they'd be fair to me. And they were fair to me. So that exceeds my expectations that I didn't have in the first place. Ain't I a happy bugger? And no, Sty hasn't been drinking. It's just that the whole issue of life isn't fair. It's like I said, oh man, it gets my funny bone. I I I don't mind people complaining about something. I don't mind people bringing up issues of conflict or tragedy or anything else. I don't mind that. What I do mind is when I've heard it for the three, four, 500th time from the exact same person. Because now they're not just informing me of something. They're not just letting me know something. They're whining. They're whining at me about something that has to do with them. Well, that's not fair. It's not fair that I got to listen to that all the time, the same thing over and over. And I already know. Oh, I broke my big toe. I tripped and I stubbed my toe, broke my toe. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, I hope you heal up quick. 2 weeks later, oh, did I tell you about my toe? You've told me 4 times a day for the last 2 weeks about your damn toe. You know where your toe should go? I mean, that's really unfair when I walk up to you and I say, hey, hi, how's your day going? Did I tell you about my toe? Oh, shit. I gotta laugh and say, yeah, I know about your toe. You and your damn toe. I could care less about your toe, by the way. Later that day, they'll go, oh, my broken toe. I gotta tell you. They don't, even though you said I care less about your toe, they're still gonna tell you about their broken toe. Well, that's unfair. I mean, I can't we talk about something else? Well, no, no. You need to hear about my toe because life is unfair. Life isn't fair. You need to listen about my broken toe. Again, I laugh about it. Some people say, well, that's insulting. You laughing at my tragedy. I didn't laugh at it the first time you told me. I was sympathetic. I cared. I was concerned. And I showed you that. But that was 300 times that you've mentioned it before today. And I did care at that time. Now I don't care. I don't care. And you think I'm heartless and mean and ornery. No, I think it's hilarious. You goofball. You know why you broke your toe? Well, yeah, I stubbed it against the curb and no, you broke it because life isn't fair. That's why you broke it. Everybody else is walking just fine. You're limping around with your broken toe. Because life isn't fair. That's why you broke your damn toe. Everything that happened to me bad my whole life is because life isn't fair. Life don't give a hoot what happens to you unless it's unfair. Life isn't doing its job unless it makes sure that something unfair happens to you every once in a while just to keep you on top of things. That's right. Me dibble, did I tell you about my other broken toe? Okay, let's hear about it. I'll get through this. I got 20 minutes of hearing about a different broken toe, but I can get through it. It's it's just another one of those deals where life isn't fair. I gotta tolerate it. Oh well. Oh well. The thanks, Jim. I love you too, girl. I love people. Gowani. Hey, hello everyone. Yeah, it's good to see you on. Oh my gosh, haven't seen Gowani very much for a while. That's cool seeing you here. The Me Dibble says the way to serve or to deal with servers like that, we're talking about overbearing kind of waitresses and waiters earlier. And he says, like that, ask them if they want a tip at the end of the meal. Because if they piss me off, they won't get. I've taken a piece of notepaper during my career. I always had a notepad in my suit pocket. I take that notepad off. And I have done that a few times. And people said, that's not fair. That's not right. I thought it was. I'd write on there, you shouldn't approach a person while they're got a mouthful of food and ask them questions. If you stop doing that, you would probably get tipped much better. And I fold that up and I put maybe $1 under it. Where I should have left them a $5 tip, I left them $1. And the tip of the day. Quit bothering a customer while they got their mouth full. And I've had people say, you can't be doing that, Sty. That ain't right. What do you mean that ain't right? They've got to start doing things a little bit different. Yeah. Chuck says if we got time later, remind me to tell you about my toe. I don't know. There's a lot of broken toes out there, Chuck. You know, there's only so many minutes in a day, and you can only deal with so many toes in a day. So certain toes might get left out. But that's okay, because life isn't fair. So you might get left out. What the heck do you expect? You expect us to all be fair? Ain't happening. Me Diddle says one person's fair is another person's unfair. Yeah. Well, isn't that unfair? Some people get fairs, and to other people, they're unfairs. I don't know which one I am. I don't know if I'm being treated fairly or unfairly. I'm in the middle. Well, that's unfair. Ah, enlightenment. I'm being treated unfair just like everybody else. Yay! Ain't that cool? uh, Chuck says I chopped mine off, so it'll be a short story. I had a girlfriend that had a big toe that it got cut off. Out. The way it got cut off, terrible. She was a little girl riding on the back of the bicycle with her brother, barefoot, and her foot got in the chain, and it went up through the rear sprocket of the wheel, and it cut her big toe off. She walked just fine, you know, until she took her shoes off, and then I'd chase her. She'd stumble. She'd run in kind of a arch. Because believe it or not, your big toe really does provide a lot of your balance. And she would yell at me when she was barefoot, and I'd start tickling her, chasing her something. And she'd say, "You know, I can't outrun you because of my toe. That's unfair." I said, "Well, how can we make it fair?" I said, "Are we supposed to go around and everybody cut off their damn right big toe?" That would make it fair for everybody, right? No. I said, if we want to make it fair, we'll glue a fake one on you instead of us all cutting ours off. You know? But there's no way that you'll ever make that situation fair without cutting everybody's big toe off. And they're all going, but I got a perfectly good big toe. I don't want you cutting that off. That'd be unfair. See, to try to make things fair, somebody's going to get treated unfairly. We're going to get into that second half. I'm going to get right into that. And it makes me laugh even harder. It does. It really does. The oh yeah, Plano Chuck was a lawn boy years ago. He's going LOL. Yeah, yeah. The old, was it under a mower, buddy? I know 3 people lost lower digits to lawnmowers. I know a gal that damn near lost her whole foot, but they managed to patch that back together. Yeah, terrible, terrible. Me double goes, ouch, that sent shivers down my spine. Yeah, getting that toe caught in that bike chain and that rear gear. Oh my gosh. And it didn't get caught in it, it just cut that toe off. She was just a little girl, so her toe wasn't that big, you know. So I'm sure that bicycle just said, hey, life isn't fair. We're going to bite that toe off. That's the way. That's the way the world turns. Yeah, she needs a prosthetic toe. She actually had a couple pairs of custom shoes where her big toe would be. That was actually had a like a little filler in there. It was like a hard rubber foam covered toe insert in her shoe that replaced her big toe in a sense inside the shoe. And it made her walk just not, you'd never know she had her big toe missing. But if she was running around barefoot, if you weren't looking at her feet to see that she had a toe missing, chase her once. And you're going, there's something wrong with that girl. Yeah. The Gemma says, I try to be fair most of the time, but I'm very opinionated. Well, I think that's fair. If you get to voice your opinion, that's fair. I think everybody should be fair to you and allow you to voice your opinion. But then they're saying, well, that's unfair. That's unfair that she gets to voice her opinion like that. Well, then voice yours. And let's all be fair. Why not? Let's all be fair. Hey, guys, it's the halfway point of the show. I got to shout out. I got to be fair, you know, and I got to give. And, well, it's kind of unfair, I guess, because I'm going to give a little special attention to my wonderful channel members. So here we go. Sty's going to be unfair and shout these guys out. I'll see you in just a moment. Yeah, those are great folks. Hey, I'm telling you, they're great folks. They're great folks. Some of them got some pretty awesome channels too. I don't think that's fair. Why are they doing so well? Oh well. The Me Dibble says it's not fair. I gotta go. Catch you later. Hey, Me Dibble, that isn't fair that we gotta do without you. We'll catch you soon, buddy. Plano Chuck says my only complaint was odd looking tracks on the beach. What the heck is that? What kind of animal is that? Yeah. I see everything spicy snuck in, and he said he's driving home from work. He won't be able to text. I hope you're listening, my brother. That I tell you what, Phil's great. He's absolutely great. Yeah, he says, "Hey, Sty, don't be texting while you drive." That boy ever gets in an accident while he's texting on one of my shows, and I'll drive all the way to Michigan. Give him a good slapping around, tell him there, how's that feel? Now, that wouldn't be fair to me to have to drive there to give him a little grown-up spanking. Say, hey, quit that texting and drive it. Life isn't fair. I look back through life and I go, holy Lord, that's one of the things that unfairness is something we have plenty of. Oh, there's never a shortage of finding something that's just not fair, right? So here we are in the second half of the show and burned up a half hour already. That's not fair. But we're going to get into fairness in today's social mind. And the fact that if we try to force fairness, guess what happens? A lot of people get treated unfairly. That's what we got going on today. in our world today. And I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. The unfairness that I see going on in the world today. And I don't like how people define fairness in a lot of cases out there. Now, when they say this group of people in this country are starving because of an 8-year drought, I say that ain't fair, man. That's just not fair. Just because of weather, Mother Nature, those people are starving to death. Send them some food, man. Let's send them some food. That's unfair. But then they say, oh, these people are starving to death. And you go, why? Well, they got a civil war going on. They've been fighting for the last 155 years, and their economy's shot. The country is all tore up. They're just fight, fight, fight all the time. And there's no money, there's no resources, and they're all starving to death. We need to send them food. I go, no, look at the title of my show. Life isn't fair. If you're going to act that way and you're going to treat people that way, you're going to have these wars and battles and tear your country apart and make it a filthy mess and not have any food because nobody can go out there and farm it because there's bombs falling out of the damn air every 15 minutes. Guess what? Life isn't fair. And no, I'm not sending you food. Clean up your damn mess. Quit being unfair to each other over there. You got a civil war? Well, that's because somebody's not being treated fairly. They're being treated so unfairly, they're fighting back. Well, let them fight back. But figure it out. Figure it out. I'm not going to help you continue to be that way. But Sty, that's unfair. No, it's not. Life is being unfair, not me. I'm not being unfair. I'm helping these people out that didn't have a choice in being hungry. Mother Nature did it to them. Life was being unfair to them too. But that's something we can help. We can't help these people that continue to be unfair to each other. If life is being unfair to you, I'd like to help you out when life is the only thing you can blame. And battles between people. That's not just life. That's a choice. And I'm not going to be party to it. I'm not going to help you. And they say, what about the poor women and children and elderly that are caught in the middle of all of that? Is it their country also? Yes, it's all of those people are involved in that turmoil. They all need to come together and clean up their mess. They don't need me bailing them out for being unfair to each other. Maybe they'll get hungry enough. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that sounds so harsh, but trying to be so-called fair, let's give them everything they need and let them keep fighting like that. Maybe we need to help them end the fight instead of feeding them. Just end the damn fight so they go back to farming again. Now, there are third world countries I have no sympathy for. I'm sorry, but I don't. I do not like seeing somebody with $1,000+ cell phone doing a video talking about their poverty and how bad things are. And in the background, you see a 65-inch flat screen TV. They've got a $3,000 laptop sitting there in the background, and they're telling you about their poverty. You doing a video like that and showing me all of these wonderful pleasures in life, that's unfair because I don't like being lied to. I haven't eaten in 3 days. Sell that TV. You'll eat for 6 months. Lying to me, that's unfair. I know life isn't fair, but it's being pretty fair to you if you can have $1,000 phone, $1,000 TV, and a $3,000 computer system to whine that things aren't good here. We're living in poverty. No. Another thing that really irritates me on the definition of fairness in this day and age. I identify as this, that, or the other thing. So you have to call me that. Why? It's only fair. Well, no, it's unfair of you to expect me to try to figure out what the hell you are. I'm telling you, I'm this, that, or the other thing. Well, good for you. But you look like this, so that's what I'm going to call you. No, you can't. That's unfair. No, it's unfair for you to expect me to try to remember you're this, that, and the other thing. Life isn't fair. Life's not fair. No. So quit telling me I got to treat you special, because that's not fair that you are getting to stand out from everybody else. Asking everybody to recognize you standing out from everybody else, that's unfair. That's unfair. It surely is. Now, it wasn't too many years ago when the big thing was we need to treat everybody the same, equally. Doesn't matter what color, creed, religion, what gender. It doesn't. None of that matters. We need to treat everybody the same. And now today, I hear it. You're bombarded with it daily. I identify as, and you have to call me that. No, I don't. You're just one of us. You're one of the many of us. We're all different in our own ways. We're all different colors, religions, and sexes, and blah, 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 blah. But let's just treat everybody the same. I should treat you the way I would like to be treated. No, you can't do that. You got to treat me like this because I'm different. What happened to everybody being treated the same? Where'd that go? Where did that go? It's not fair. That ain't fair. Life is a lot easier if we just quit looking at each other scared to death to say anything because we don't know what we are, what each of us are. It was so much easier when we could look at each other and say, man, they breathe, they bleed, they cry, they laugh. They're not so different than me. And what they are, what makes them different, that just adds color to the picture. We don't need to identify them as something special, something different. Yeah, they just don't know how to communicate. But it's It's a blight on society. What it's done is it's driven people away from becoming willing to know somebody. You don't want to get to know new people when you're not sure if you say, call someone sir or ma'am, and then they correct you and say, no, I identified this way. Well, that makes you not want to converse with them. And they wonder, and that's been happening in society since the 1970s. Most neighborhoods from the 70s on, it just progressively got worse and worse and worse. Most people not only don't know who their neighbors are, they've never spoken to them. They've seen them coming and going. They want nothing to do with them. I don't want to get to know them. No way. When I was growing up in the early 60s and all of the 60s, hell, I knew everybody in our damn town. Everybody. If I didn't remember you by your name, I sure knew your face. I knew who you were. I knew what you did for a living. I knew what kind of work you did. I knew where you lived. Everybody knew each other. We all knew each other. And you always said hello to that new person in town. And you got to know them. And there were people in that town that you really liked, and there were people you really didn't like. But you wouldn't know that unless you got to know them. Now we just don't know anybody. I just don't want to know anybody. I don't want to know my neighbors. I don't want to. Okay, you get in a dire strait and you need help. You run out of your house and you go, somebody call the police. Where when I was growing up, man, you'd run out of the house, run right to the neighbors, knock on the door 3 times and run in and yell, help, help. Because that's what your neighbors expected you to do if you needed help. Because they would do the same with you. They'd run to your house, knock 3 times and run in the door, help. Nobody does that nowadays. Because they don't know who the hell lives next door. They don't know if they're knocking on some crackhead's house or some serial killer's house, or because nobody knows each other. Justin says by 2030, we'll probably be able to identify as a bullfrog on a driver's license. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if I'm still around, I'll have to start thinking about what I want to identify as. Gemma says, I call you uncle. Is that okay? Oh, you don't know how much that warms me, Gemma. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've got folks that call me Uncle Sty all the time. They call me uncle. Gemma's she's been calling me uncle for a couple of years now. And I kind of expect it, and I see her as a favorite niece, yeah. And I've got folks that call me Grandpa Sty. I've got guys that, hey, they always say, hey, brother, and those aren't the kind of titles that I have any kind of issue with, because that's what we did when I was a child growing up in the 60s. If you had a man in your life that was outside the family, but he was there all the time, he was there for you, and he was so dependable, and he helped you grow up. You call him you call him uncle. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost 3 years, Gemma. I was looking at that with Bill and I. It's been, we're going on our 3 years, And it's amazing. It's amazing. We've gotten to know each other quite well, grown so attached to each other. And and when I talk about fairness, the I see folks that they can't build a relationship with others, no matter how much effort they put in it. And I'm not going to judge them and try to tell them, well, maybe it's because of this or that. That's something we all have to work out in our own lives. But I feel bad for those that don't have a circle of friends. I don't locally. I don't have a circle of friends. I have several acquaintances that I'll go have a cup of coffee with the old boys down at the restaurant, or I'll run into folks that were old business associates and we got along very well. And we'll chat. Sometimes I'll get in a conversation with some of these folks that go on for a couple hours. But they're not friends. They're not, how do I put it? They just don't know me any better than I know them. There's a lot about each other we don't know. We just have each other's company. Oh, Gemma, you do not need to do that, girl. No, you do not. There she goes. Love for my favorite uncle. Oh, you're awesome, girl. You don't have to. I would so much prefer you took yourself out for lunch, to buy yourself some snacks for around the house. Yeah. Gemma, we were talking. I've got a really big I got too many pokers in the fire, man. I opened today a gift from Running Water. He just jacked the value of my studio way up. I've got an 8-channel full board mixer sitting on my studio right now. Can't move this camera to show you, and the other camera I have disconnected at the moment. But it's a huge old mixer. It's about 16 inches long. It covers a good chunk of my studio, and I can run up to 8 microphones off of it. He says I got to that because of all the things you can do with it. I can have multiple microphones in my studio. Once I'm all done and I've got my studio couch, everything in here, I can have guests and I can have separate microphones. I can run them all through this mixer. Also, this mixer, I can do sound effects, voice effects. I can do voice overs on videos. I can tweak all of the audio, not just for the live streams, but more so for the videos. I can go in and I can soften sounds. I can enhance sounds. It's a full professional mixer sitting on my studio desk right now. I was reading the manual earlier today, and oh lordy, that thing scares the bejesus out of me. I've never been one that did a lot on sound. Well, I'm going to learn to be, because one of the projects we have in the mix, Running Water is aware of it. And I'm not going to give out too many spoilers, but Sty's creating another channel you'll never see me on. You'll never see me on it. I'm going to be doing kind of specialized videos on that channel, and you won't see me. You may hear my voice. My voice may be synthesized. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But the channel is going to be basically for inspiration. It's going to be an inspirational type channel. It's just going to be a visual audio relaxing. It's going to cover a lot of area. Relaxing, upbeat, make you happy, soothe you when you're sad, get you excited when you want to be kind of channel. Um, it's an experiment. It's an experiment. I spent half of the day just downloading video clips that are royalty free that I'm going to be using as backgrounds throughout the videos. And I'm about a third of the way done of downloading the clips that I've selected. Um, and I've already downloaded 137 clips. So, and maybe I might be a third of the way downloading all those clips. The It takes work. It takes work to try to put something together and to do all this. It isn't fair. Shouldn't it all be just ready? Just turn key, put a key in it, turn it, and say, I'm running like a pro. I never thought I'd ever get to this stage. I've got equipment here that I never dreamt of, never dreamt of. But thank goodness for running water. He's helped me do this. Gemma says you deserve it. That's why I do it with that super chat. Girl, this old boy doesn't, I never tell myself, oh, you deserve that. I don't go there. And when you do things like that, it truly humbles me. It humbles me because I don't consider myself deserving of anything. Let alone how much I believe you folks deserve the best I can give you, you know? Yeah. I always feel I can do better. I can do better. And that's what I strive to do is just, every day try to do something a little bit better. I'm an old man. I don't know how many years I got left. So every day I try to do something a little better, a little better. The, the, the more we endeavor to persevere, the better our lives get. And that's it. We just endeavor to persevere. Just keep moving ahead. Move ahead. Move ahead. No matter how unfair things seem. Just keep trying to move ahead. Because I guarantee you, nothing's ever going to change when it comes to unfairness. Life isn't fair. It's going to throw a wrench in the gears every chance it gets because life is. I don't believe life in general is happy unless it's trying to make us unhappy. So laugh at it. Laugh at life and say, go ahead, throw another punch. I'm ready for you. Always stay ready. Always stay ready. Yeah. Don't be afraid to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I ain't that bad. I'm not that bad. I'm not all that, but I ain't that bad. Look up to yourself and pat yourself on the back once in a while. Yeah, I see the hashtag life lessons, hashtag autism, hashtag always and forever. Yeah, love you, girl. Love you. So, with that, we're at the 1 hour mark. It's the end of the show, guys. Hey, the ends of the show are kind of tough for me because I'll spend a good half hour reflecting about the show and I look through the chat again and and it's worth every minute of my effort to be here with you folks. And the Casey. Yep, just missed us. It's end of the show. Old country, homesteading. Um, I'll see you all later. You have a good weekend. The next Sty Times is Monday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Sunday, Sty Story Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Hope to see you at one of those. You all have a very wonderful weekend. Love y'all, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.